Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lutiko. I'm a 3D character artist and animator, and this is a timelapse video of how I sculpted Revy from Black Lagoon. And if you're new to the channel, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment, or just share it. It's fine too. You don't have to subscribe, it's okay. And I think let me just address that I haven't been posting as frequently as I could have, for various reasons actually. One of the biggest ones being that I think I was just a little bit exhausted. I didn't know exactly, because I've really been trying to figure out this 3D animation type, like what's the best route I can take, like what can I do to make this translate into a living. And I think maybe just thinking about it constantly just kind of put me in this down on spiral. I did get some work like a little bit, and like I got some work a couple of months ago that also delayed me a little bit. It took me like I think a good 2 or 3 months to finish the project. I had to animate something for a company. Yeah, so I had to do that. It took like some of my time, and it was just draining because I'm very thankful, thank God that I got some work, but then it's just not the type of work I want to be doing. I want to be animating fight scenes, stuff like that, and there's a lot of people who do that way better than me, but then I'm trying to get there because I feel like with the intro animation there's a couple of things I could have done better. It's very it's not a very good fight. It's not a good fight animation. It's just something that I feel like I had to finish because I started it, and on top of just trying to figure things out, I think I just kind of got burnt out a little bit. I think that was like a time I spent like 2 weeks without touching a pencil on my graphic tablet because I was just I wouldn't say depressed because I don't like throwing that word around because I feel like there's people that's just actual depression, and I was just having a rough time. I was just having a rough time trying to figure things out. I'm getting old, I'm getting older. I'm 27, I'll be 28 next year, and there's a lot of things I'm still trying to figure out, and I really want my work to just get out there, and I just don't know what the best way forward is. 10 people subscribe, like this, like that. I don't really know, and I think one of the hardest things about this YouTube thing is getting people to subscribe, to stay engaged with your content, because like I said, I feel like there's a lot of people who do sculpting animation better than I do, but then I do know where I want to be in the next couple of years, and I feel like I can definitely achieve it, but I can't do that alone, so I appreciate the support. And other than that, I think it's just I just really don't know what the next step is, but then I've just decided that okay, I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing and hope that maybe something pans out. I'm just praying for the grace of God. I thank God that I have the skill set, I think I have the work ethic. I just I guess I had a really rough year but then but we just keep pushing, and we'll keep pushing. And is there anything else I want to address? Oh yes, Revy, Black Lagoon. I used to sneak out my room to watch this Black Animax back in 2008, before the great shift that people are calling, where everybody wasn't into anime at the time. I was like 2008. I was like 10 years old, I believe. So I used to sneak to the cinema room just to watch Black Lagoon. I didn't understand what the hell was happening. I was just there to watch Revy whoop some butt and get her butt into her times on occasion with the other girls in the thing. I thought she was a very cool character, if I'm being honest. I didn't really get much of what was going on. I get that she had a very traumatic history or other backstory from the beginning, but I just didn't really get it because I was a kid. There's a couple of anime that was that I used to watch that was adult themed, but I just really couldn't grab the concepts. So Paranoia Agent. I think there was Blackjack. There were a lot of adult themes that I didn't really understand. But I think there's an anime that has to come back because it had a really dope art style. Although it was geared towards the more adult audience, it's definitely Basilisk. Basilisk is the first Basilisk. Yes, that was the first anime I watched about ninjas. I believe it was a Naruto for me because my anime journey really started way before, and it's not the most conventional, the most traditional anime backstory that people have, because most people say that it's either DBZ, Naruto, or Bleach. Not really One Piece, because I think big three, there's One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z. That's the godfather of anime, so it's not really part of the big three. But those are people's first 3 animes to watch. DBZ, Bleach, or Naruto, something like that. One Piece is right here and there. But then my first anime was stuff like Mew Mew Power back on KTV. I don't know if anybody remembers KTV. I think that was KTV before Nickelodeon. I don't really know what happened, but then KTV. I think KTV was South African, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, there was like a couple of anime there. You had like Digimon Spirit Evolution. You had Mew Mew Power and stuff like that. And then a couple of years later, Animax came in, but then it didn't last more than 3 years on air, and then they canceled the channel. But yeah, that was like my first exposure to anime, stuff like that. I didn't even know that anime was Japanese at the time, because everything was dubbed. So there was that, and yeah. But then anyways, guys, let me not take too much of your time. I just want to clear the air on this, and I'm really asking if you for your support. Just, you don't have to subscribe, just leave a comment, stuff like that, because I think one of the most demotivating things about this YouTube thing, like if I'm being honest, is just like seeing that maybe the video is 30 minutes, but I don't think it's really about the views. I think it's more about the duration of how people stick around. If you have like a 30-minute video, I feel like if people watch at least 10 minutes, I'd be happy. But then you find that maybe it's like a 30-minute video and then it's just 2 minutes. So people watching like 2 minutes on average. It's kind of like, what can I do to make my content more engaging? Because I just sculpt the anime. I don't know. I made a tutorial one time, but I don't know if I have it in me to be a good teacher. I don't think I'm a good teacher, and the amount of time I need to edit like a proper tutorial is very. We'll see how it goes. But I think maybe as the channel grows, if I can grow to like maybe a decent size, I'll make sure that as I'm working on sculpts and stuff like that, I also make like tutorials in between. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for your attention, and I think next time we'll speak about like what makes a good fight animation. Definitely, because I don't want to speak about that now, because there's a lot of things that I did wrong in the intro animation, and I'm just gonna help myself. Plus, I think there was like a clip that I saw that was like that kind of inspired me to just like get some bits from there, mixed with my own. But there's certain aspects that I feel like make a very good fight animation. Not just the choreography, alone, but there's other aspects that I like to talk about, and I'll speak about those next time. So thank you so much for listening. Have a good day. Once again, I'm Luitico Ndola. I'm a 3D character artist and animator. If you love this, share it, subscribe to the channel, tell a friend, leave a comment. If you have any questions, ask me down below. I'd really appreciate the engagement, and have a good rest of your day. I'm not sure when I'm uploading this, because I still have like a few more scenes to animate, two or three, but then just to tie everything down together. Thank you so much. God bless. Have a good rest of the day. Peace.